What is up, everybody? I am such a jackass, and you want to know why? It's not because of my hair. It's because I thought I uploaded a video last week, and guess what? There was a stupid YouTube error uploading message saying it couldn't upload, so my bad, my mistake. I should have checked on it. The video that I was supposed to upload was Lachance and I talking about how hard and difficult it is being a DJ between two different genres such as techno, trance, my style, which is big bass, house. I'm going to upload that right now. I am so terribly sorry. Again, my mistake, guys. But before I do that, I want to give a shout out to some of my sweet followers. Coming in at the number 3 comment is Haley. She's been asking how long I've been producing, how my sound has developed over time. So Haley, I have been producing about this is June-ish? July will be about 2 years. And DJing about the same time. Mr. Sergio, coming in at number 2. What is my plan as a DJ and producer? That would be to become an international DJ. I just love being in front of people and making them dance. And yeah, I love it. I love making music that makes people forget about all their drama and bullshit in their regular life. So yeah, that's my plan. And really quick, this one's not number 1, but it is definitely a super awesome comment, a great mention to throw in there. This one is coming from Alicia. SKEDDY new joyride? Ah! That would be totally awesome. I think I'm getting there. I don't know if I'm there yet. Thank you for the awesome compliment. Thanks, Joyride, if you're watching. Thanks for all the inspiration. And Alicia, thank you for your following and support. Coming in from Jesse, whoever disliked this hates themselves. Thanks. I really appreciate that and you having my back and also being a huge supporter and follower of what I do. So if you guys want to get a mention of your comments in my next vlogs, leave a comment below and I will shoot and shout your name out. Thank you guys so much. Those are my top 3 comments of the week. Stay tuned for more. Let's get into this week's vlog.
Okay, yeah, let's put this right. Hey everybody, my name is Lachance and I'm here with SKEDDY again. We're about to get some crazy beats up in here.
What's up? Hey everyone, so today we have a very interesting video for you guys. The last few videos we've been playing around with each other's style of DJing, and we thought it'd be interesting if I were to take over Daniel's type of DJing style and he would take over mine.
Yep. Granted, my style is techno, psytrance, hard trance, and tech trance kind of style. So. And I'm very
like fast-paced bass house, G house type of stuff.
Yeah, future bass, that kind of jazz style.
How many tracks do you mix in an hour?
Personally, I try to get about, if it's trance, 15 to 20. If it's techno, usually can get that up to like 25, maybe 30. So
I do 60.
Exactly, 60. Yeah, it's just the different styles. Yeah, you know, one focuses on that melody versus the other guy.
So my style really reflects me as a person. Like I'm totally ADD, like, ugh, squirrel. So I get really bored with songs and I just transition in and out of songs really super fast. Or your style is like very melodic and you like to build a story.
We work on that progression, that melody over time. So it's a lot of layering songs on top of each other and just playing them out versus killing it and getting into the next song right away. We
haven't tried anything, guys. We're just going to jump into it. But before we jump into it, we're going to give each other our top 5 tips for mixing our different style of genres. I'm going to give my tips first because Daniel's going to jump in first and he's going to mix my style of music. Tip number 1, Mr. Lachance, is my best advice is just mix really fast. Don't get stuck on one song for a long time. Yeah. Tip number 2 for you. One thing I like to do is, let's say this song on deck 1 is about to hit the second drop. Go ahead and introduce a new drop on deck 2 with a different song, which is song number 2.
All I really know is I'ma flow and keep working on.
My third tip for you, this one's really fun to do, but it takes a lot of techniques. Let's say your song on deck 2 is playing, and it's a matter of playing with your faders a little bit. As you can see, you're having 2 different drops kind of play around and banter with each other at the same time. Tip number 3. Loop number 4 for you is just kind of fade out some loops as best as possible and reduce the loops so it almost has like an echo effect. And what I mean by that is just something like this.
All I really know is I'ma feel and keep working. All I really know is I'ma feel and keep working. All I really know is I'ma feel, 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 I really know.
Tip number 5 is you can bring that loop back into the song for a little bit of a transition technique.
Get down to the baseline.
Tip number 6 for you, really quick, is introduce that same loop roll into the drop.
So you just take that creative side to it a little bit.
Exactly, have a little bit of like that old school DJ mixing technique thrown in there. So 6 tips for you.
Okay.
All right, Daniel, so before we get started, let's give me your thoughts on how you think this is gonna go. Have you ever mixed like this before?
No, I haven't, and it's an interesting concept because there's a lot more colors and there's a lot more cue points and jumping around and stuff in general. So it's an interesting style. It sounds like it'll be a fun style to give it a shot, to say the least. So we'll see what I can do. The one thing I will say that's different than him, or SKEDDY here, is
Sup, G?
I'm gonna be using my headphones because I am pretty reliant on my ears in areas. So
I remember,
especially with these songs, I don't know anything about them.
I remember there was one time we were playing together, and you're like, "Do you not listen to your song?" I'm like, no, not really.
Yeah, it's all just like if you know the tracks and where the things are, and you've already done the work ahead of time, it creates that like area of creativity and just really experimentation for what you can do because you've already listened and you've already laid it out, so you can do a bunch of cool things that you wouldn't normally do versus my style, which you'll learn. So,
Are you nervous?
like 30% nervous.
30%.
30%.
I'm like 80% nervous because I know I'm gonna mess up mixing your tracks.
It's just like how it is. You just gotta rip it and you just hope for the best.
Should we put in like a number of songs you have to mix within like 2 minutes?
Look, give me 5 minutes and I will try to do.
5 songs? A minute a song?
We'll try 5 songs.
5 songs, 5 minutes.
All right.
All right, good luck.
Good luck. Ready? Oh shit. Timer. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh god.
Actually, I'm gonna say it over because my clock is better.
What's nice about these two songs is that they have a big breakdown on top of each other here. All right, get the last song. It's 5 songs.
How was that?
A little nerve-wracking. My hands are still shaking from it.
You're shaking.
A little bit, because you're trying to be quick.
Yeah.
And then you're trying not to mess up and find everything, and then just like random songs I've never heard before in my life. So, a little intense. Forgot to breathe sometimes.
What was the hardest thing you actually were trying to like figure out on the fly?
The loop function, and then what your cue points were actually marking, because no offense, but they're a little bit random. They're kind of all over the place. Like this one is, like you would think it would be like intro, mid, end area, but instead it could be like this one's the intro and this one's the middle. So I'm like trying to get used to your cue points too.
So what's really funny about that, I'm really guilty of that. Like, if you look at my playlist, no organization to my playlist or hot cues whatsoever. So the way I set up my hot cues is just like how I know I can manipulate that very specific point in a song going into a new song. And just, I don't know, that's just how I do my hot cues.
Yeah, we'll see how you handle with no hot cues.
Oh God. See, I'm a hot cue guy. That's what scares me the most is like having no hot cues.
No hot cues. All right, so I'm gonna take over here, and you're walking with me. My bottle's been here the whole entire time.
It was like 2 weeks.
It's been like 2 weeks, yeah.
Yeah, I held it hostage.
Transition. Hey, how's it going? How's it going, guys?
Hey, what's up, G?
How's it going, everybody? My name is PewDiePie.
Let's crack the lock and home skillet.
Not much. How the hell do I get back to your settings?
Phuket, Thailand. Yeah.
Okay. Source. There we go.
Yeah.
I'll try to give you the best tips ever. First tip, always start at the beginning of your track. It really helps because that's where the first intro to the song, the first like minute and a half is gonna be that sweet spot for you to mix in. So that's your first tip. Start with the beginning of the track. Then second tip is really listen to the track. So I guess I'll leave this part up to you. What BPM do you want to play in? Do you want to...
You guide me. You guide me.
To give you a little bit more versatility and tricky, or not as tricky, we'll let you play in the 125 to 128 range instead.
Where I'm comfortable.
Yeah, we'll let you be a little more comfortable.
My soft spot.
But what you'll do is find a song and you'll like say listen to it. You'll load it into your deck, yes, and you'll see here on the actual thing like where there may be like areas where you can bring that song in, and you know you'll find the certain phrasings of the song itself. So tip number 2 is listen to the phrasing. You're gonna want to listen ahead of time in your cue, and then figure out where you can really mix in and out. Tip number 3. EQ mixing is going to be your bread and butter. So using these guys, where instead of killing the song completely, you'll want to just kill your bass and let the bass play from the other song, and maybe reduce your highs on the song you're bringing in, the mids a little bit, do kind of the same on the other side, just so both can breathe. So you do a lot more EQ mixing, and where I use my filter and stuff like that to cut those frequencies. So
you're gonna be proud.
That's some of that production knowledge.
In my G house mixes I've been playing, I've been doing a lot of that.
Okay,
so I have
that's good.
Tiny bit of practice with that.
And then here's tip number 4, one that's gonna be hard for you.
Oh gosh.
Keeping patient in the track that's playing and letting it play its phrase.
I can't.
Yeah, you're gonna let it play its phrase out.
All right, that was tip 4.
That's 4. So
Chill.
5.
Tip 5.
Tip 5. If your phrasing is not lining up and you feel that you're not gonna be able to keep it, lined up and create that vibe, use your loops. Your loops are your bread and butter too, and you're really good at those. So you're gonna be able to loop a section that you want in that track. That may be like part of the breakdown, part of a build-up, just part of like a little arpeggio that's going on that you can really mess around with to let the other song get to the drop of the bass. So it's all about a more progression, if anything. So yeah.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. I'm a little nervous. All right.
All right, SKEDDY.
Pre-game thoughts.
Pre-game thoughts.
I'm shitting bricks.
Nervous level?
No, it's just like I don't want to mess up, and as a DJ, like you don't want to screw up because you just sound like Donkey Dick, and that's just. I know I'm gonna be super impatient, so I guess I'm just gonna like get into it. I'm gonna fast forward a little bit into this song just so we can play it somewhat into the drops. Okay, whatever. Here we go. I know I messed that one up so bad. I was not paying attention to the wave format at all.
Gotta use those ears. Beat match it.
See, I just cut that out and I should have slowed down. And I just played the same song again! Oh my god, I played the song twice! Sounded good, I guess.
Yeah, you good, you got it.
Oh my god!
Oh, what's up for those? A little bit over there.
I like those vocals. That one was okay.
That was
Dude,
good. That was good.
that was weird. I was like trying to do some stuff and it didn't really work out. It's really hard to hear. That's what I'm noticing. Like,
Gotta use your headphones.
see, I never.
Gotta use your headphones.
Oh god, I'm ending a song. I'm just gonna bring the other one back in.
And
Is that
you got 3, 2, and 1.
Oh my god! Okay. That was like, I know my problems. I recognize them. I don't know if I want to work on them.
You mixed like the same song twice.
Did I?
You did the same, the song you have playing right now, are you doing that like twice?
I know the talking to you was 2, then this one kind of was like 1 and 2. I brought it back in. Okay.
It was interesting, yeah.
My afterthoughts. It was hard not having hot cues. I know I wasn't listening to the song that I wanted to cue up because the hot cues weren't there.
Yep.
And one thing I noticed, like, I wanted to just slam the faders down and like just go into the next song. And I know I messed that up a few times rather than just like,
Yeah.
take
That's
it
why the
easy.
EQ mixing is your friend versus slamming the volume up and down.
There is some like maybe 1 or 2 areas that sounded okay, but that was hard.
Yeah.
That was really hard.
Oh, I'll give you 3 out of 10.
It like hurt my head a little bit. It was like, I don't know how to comprehend
Yeah.
that process.
I know everybody hearing this Bedrock song was probably like, oh, my heart, hearing that mixing.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Here's my top 3 takeaways doing your style mixing. Be super patient, use your headphones, and I don't know, mix fast. It was just like really hard to like mix very slow.
Let's do the phrasing.
Yeah, it's just hard. Like the phrasing was really hard for me to just lock it down and just be patient. And I was like, I already know I was getting bored just doing that 5-7 minute session there.
Yeah.
What were your 3 takeaways from mixing my style?
Kind of all over the place, honestly. Like I'm just listening, and all of a sudden I'm like, I may be vibing with the track or something, and then it builds up, and then all of a sudden I'm like on a different level, and I'm like, okay, then I have to like change my whole like style, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a little too quick.
All right.
It's all over the place.
I am all over the place, and so that's probably why it
don't
fits
take
me.
it as a like bad. It's not,
No, no.
It's not bad, okay. Like trust me.
I'm over the place.
That's how I felt like I was mixing. I felt like I was all over the place. Like all of a sudden I'm bringing in this thing, but if you know what you're doing with the tracks, you're great.
Was it hard mixing like multiple songs that fast for you?
Yeah, it was trickier just because I'm trying to do my techniques that I do, and then I can't implement those. Like I can implement it like maybe half the time.
I felt the same way. I should add that
Yeah.
to my one of my takeaways. I was trying to implement my techniques in yours, and it was just like,
Not working.
it's like you're driving a stick and you're trying to put it in gear without the clutch in. You're just like, just get in there.
Unless if you just glide the clutch, then you can do those quick shifts. But yeah.
We both have clutches in our style. Well, so one of my biggest DJs that I learned from was Laidback Luke. He mixes really fast, and he uses a lot of blending techniques like the loop rolls and throwing those in there for like a scratch effect and things like that. So he's my biggest inspiration on how I learned how to DJ. Who's your biggest DJ that helped build your style?
Eric Pride's is one because he's like the king of progression and build-ups over a period of time, and his breakdowns are like some of the longest breakdowns you ever listen to at a set. But it creates so much tension within it, so that's why I like to, mix his kind of style, because he really keeps the crowd entertained the whole way, even though it's a long progression.
Prada.
The acceptability of trying it,
Yeah, that's a good one. You wanna?
Yeah,
You wanna
I'd say. So, I mean, one other thing we'll look at is whether or not you want to actually switch to that style and give the other genres a try in that way of mixing. Personally, if I were to do that more style of music one night and someone was like, hey, I need someone to fill in for this, could you ever do it? I'd probably practice it and try it out and then give it a shot. Would I switch over completely to that style of music? No, probably not.
I think one thing for me is I like what you said, like accepting it and trying it and see what happens. And I think as a DJ, you should learn multiple genres as much as possible, whether you're kind of like mediocre or like really perfecting it. If you can mix more different genres, you can blend a lot more different style types of songs and keep the crowd energized, because I've seen kind of like a techno progressive track played at like a pretty big room type of house, but it was really like the acapellas in it.
Right.
If you have a plethora of skills that you can mix into one style, I think that's pretty good. I think you nailed it on that.
I feel like you could probably take the techniques of both and really perfect your own skills and bring something new.
If someone hit me up for a techno set, I'm calling you.
Yeah.
If anyone needs bass house,
Yeah.
you call me.
I'm your techno guru.
Yeah.